top 5 NFL draft defensive tackles. We'll take it at the 5 and go to the 1. At number 5, give me T.J. Sanders out of South Carolina. He's 6'4", 297 pounds, 5 tackles, 5 sacks, no forced fumbles on the season. He's got 9 hits, 19 hurries, 2 batted passes, graded at 82.4 by Pro Football Focus. And he has a pretty even split. Actually, one of the only ones in my top 5 that has a pretty even split of pass rush and run stopping, run defense snaps. Everyone else up here, the 4 through the 1, which we will get to, they all had about a even experience at pass rush and run stopping snaps. But when you take a look at TJ Sanders, this is a guy who is a defensive tackle, as we know, but he plays like a defensive end. He shows the ability to really be effective from multiple alignments and techniques, whether you want him to go with his hand in the dirt, maybe have him stand up, switch him around in some formation, switch his assignments up. He will be able to deliver on that. He's got a good first step and a good bend around blocks as well, I think is what makes him special at the position and puts him in the top 5 for the 2025 NFL draft at his position as a prospect as well. And I think he has some of the best speed, first step and bend around the blockers in this class for the defensive tackle. He's pretty athletic as well. Good closing speed, I would say. Now, his pass rush grades are high and good for the most part too. But when you talk about win rate for a defensive tackle, how successful are they actually at winning the rep and completing whatever their job is in the rep, in the situation that they're in defensively as the snap is happening? That true win rate from TJ Sanders is a little low because he'll generate pressure initially with his first step. He's got long arms for the position as well, but he lacks the strength. He lacks those precise hands that you like to see with the real technical defensive linemen and defensive tackles at the next level in the NFL. He lacks that precise handwork and, again, that strength to really win clearly at the point of attack. Now, he does have a variety of pass rush moves, but he does have that inconsistent hand placement, which we did just talk about, him kind of failing to generate that consistent pressure because of some of those hand mishaps. But for the most part, he can also get pushed off the ball by NFL level strength as well. He is kind of an unreliable tackler, diving at ankles more times than not, but his motor does run very well, runs very hot on key downs as well, which you need from someone in the trenches. At number 4, give me Derek Harmon out of Oregon, 6'4", over 300 pounds at 313, 45 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 7 hits, 43 hurries, 2 batted passes, and he graded at 83.9 per PFF. He led all defensive tackles in the NCAA in pressures with in 2024. Now, he does have very active hands during all of his reps as well. The speed off of the edge for the blockers that he goes up against, I think, is really good, but he could be better at extending his arms off the edge of blocks for, more tackle, more stop opportunities, if you ask me. He is a natural power player. He brings that elite upper body strength, to the table. Really good, really outstanding, actually, spatial awareness and pretty good play recognition skills too. Very essential when you're a defensive tackle. Is it an option? Are they going up the inside? Do you have to bounce out the outside to go get a more athletic speed type of back? He's got those qualities within him. He's an elite bull rusher. When you look at his tape, though, I did feel like there were multiple sacks or tackles that he left on the field, really left on the tape that got away from him, especially at the end of plays. I don't know if it was just the offense executing quicker on, on their parts, or rather on his parts of the field within the, steps or timing of the play that the offense is in. If that was because of his pressure, because of his presence, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a focus aspect of Derek Harmon. Not really sure on that aspect either. And sometimes he can get stuck on blocks. So he does need to develop some of his counter moves. At number 3, 2 of the top 3 defensive tackles in this draft are out of the University of Michigan. And at number 3, we're going to start with Kenneth Grant, 6'4", 331 pounds, 32 tackles. Oh, excuse me. 3 sacks, no forced fumbles, 1 hit, 23 hurries, 5 batted passes. He did grade at 83.7. This guy's an absolute punisher. He is arguably the biggest punisher in the draft at this position, and I think he competes with his teammate Mason Graham in this aspect, no question about it. Very high level strength off the snap. He is pretty deceptively quick around the edge for his size as well. Again, 6'4", 330 plus pounds. He's consistently overpowering offensive linemen, really backing them up into a pocket, creating a muddy, unclean, pressured pocket for a quarterback. And just making it tougher on the quarterback in the play as well. Now, if the offensive lineman that he's going up against, if their technique isn't sound or they aren't really respecting Kenneth Grant's game, he will swim around that initial point of contact, be ready to wreck the play really like off the rip. If, again, you do not get good hands on him and leverage yourself as an offensive lineman within your stance. And when he gets to the quarterback, he did only have 3 sacks this season, but when he does get to the quarterback, it's a vicious takedown. You know it's going to affect the quarterback's composure. I mean, it just looks violent watching it on the tape. He does have a very good motor as well and is always showcasing his athleticism. So I've got Kenneth Grant out of Michigan at number 3. At number 2, give me Walter Nolen out of Ole Miss, 6'4", 296 pounds, a very athletic, loose, fluid 296 pounds for Walter Nolen, 48 tackles, 6.5 sacks, no forced fumbles, 4 hits, 25 hurries, 2 batted passes. He did grade at an 88.9 for Pro Football Focus, and his long arms, I think, really jump out on the tape for him. He's really able to bend and swing around the edges of blocks to crowd the pocket or also get to the ball carrier. I think he's very good at pushing the offensive line back in their stance or really on their heels too, and a good tendency to shuck or overpower the first move that's actually thrown at him to get leverage, to win the rep up front, to get through the entire situation that he's in. And I think he's pretty good at fighting through and getting around those up high blocking techniques that are used against him at times. And, you know, and again, if kind of like with Kenneth Grant, if your technique and stance is not on point with a pass rusher, with a defensive tackle in this draft like Walter Nolen, you know, you're not going to stand a chance in the rep against him. And he can deal with being chipped. He can deal with being double teamed at times. And that's an aspect we've started to see as time goes on. It's more of an offensively driven league. So you want to create time for those bigger chunk plays. You might have to double team a guy like Walter Nolen, like an Aaron Donald, like a Cam Jordan, like a, TJ Watt, like a Joey Bosa, or Nick Bosa like we see in the league. And if you're able to deal with getting chipped, getting double team, I think that adds a lot to your draft stock and really your sought after characteristic as a prospect, for lack of better words. A lot of tackles in pursuit behind the ball carrier too, and he's outstretched, actually reaching for the ankles of the ball carrier. I think, to me, that shows his willingness to pursuit and the effort to really get through an entire play. He's got good patience, good vision, like a lot of the prospects in this class do. But even if he gets taken out of the play, he can find his way back for a tackle. I like Walter Nolen in this draft a lot. It's like he's a defensive end light, but he's just a little too big and a little too slow to be a DN, which is why he's playing defensive tackle. And that's not to knock Walter Nolen at all, because I think he is a very, very solid prospect. And that's why he comes in at number 2 on the defensive tackle list. And then at number 1, the best defensive tackle in the 2025 NFL draft, give me Mason Graham, also out of Michigan, right next to Kenneth Grant. 6'4", 296 pounds, 46 tackles, 5 sacks, no forced fumbles as well, 9 hits, 20 hurries, 1 batted pass on the year. He did grade at 91.1 for PFF, so the highest grade in the class. And his play style is a mix of a bull rush, kind of a technique around the edge of the blockers that he goes up against as well, some good spatial awareness to really track down the ball carrier and to stuff a run if he needs to. He's good at stretching off the edges to make a stop as running back kind of try to get past him. That's very important. If you're engaged in a blocking, kind of reach out to the side, get those plays that are literally next to you, but are you skilled enough to get out of the block that you're engaged in with a high level lineman in the NFL and be able to complete that play for your defense? He's constantly collapsing the pocket into the lap of the quarterback too. He has pass rushing capabilities big time, I think, for a defensive tackle. He can split a double team if he needs to. We watched him handle that at Michigan. And if there's any sort of pause or hesitation, disruption at the line, Mason Graham's going to sniff it out, and he's more than likely going to go make a play. I think that's what makes him number 1 in this class, what makes him so special in this class as the number 1 NFL draft defensive tackle for 2025. Number 1, Mason Graham out of Michigan. Number 2, Walter Nolen out of Ole Miss. Number 3, Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. Number 4, Derek Harmon out of Oregon. And number 5, TJ Sanders out of South Carolina.
Hey, it's AJL here. Appreciate you sticking to the end of the video here on YouTube. You could have chose any other show, but you chose my video, and for that, I'm very grateful. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. Hit the bell on the channel so you never miss a post. Check me out on all social media platforms. Right here, you'll find a chance to subscribe to the show, a related video, and a playlist. See you guys in the next one.